In my company, I work in a function which is called medical affairs. So it's a mix of strategic communication, and we provide also input, and we cooperate with opinion leaders and external opinion leaders. My field of expertise is multiple myeloma, and that's the reason why they eventually asked me to take part to the work package 2, because we have FDA representative from the different diseases that are represented in the Harmony in terms of hematological malignancies. One of those is the myeloma, and well, I know few people in the area, and that's the reason why they involved me. This is a moving target. Multiple myeloma is fastly evolving disease. You know, if you consider 10 years ago or 15 years ago, there was nothing. I mean, prognosis for patients was very poor. And now, thanks to the developments in clinical research, availability of novel medicines, outcome is definitely improving for patients. So most of the discussion was about can we still use some of the old outcomes or some of the old data set that are obsolete now, or do we need something new? Do we need to define something new? Do we need to define new parameters for patients? In the past, I think the primary endpoint the primary outcome could only be survival for patients, because average median survival for patients was less than 2 years. Now you have patients that survive 10, 15, 20 years, and we need to understand who are those patients, how to identify them, and we need to identify outcomes that are relevant for patients that are living with their disease. So something which is important from a quality of life perspective, the social interaction that those patients they have. Those patients, sometimes they are young, they need to go back to work, they work in a system, they live in a system, they live in a family. So whatever they do and the way they are treated is basically affecting their system as well. So I think this is particularly relevant for diseases like this, in which the development was so fast recently, that we need to refocus on outcomes and to think about whether the traditional outcomes that were once defined are still applicable, are still make sense, or do we need to define new ones? Yeah, I think myeloma specifically, and in Europe specifically, a big work has been already done. There are cooperative groups that already in the past they put together their data sets, and some of the most important prognostic algorithms, for instance, they have been defined through a collaboration of different cooperative groups. For instance, the EMN network, together with the PETIMA, some contribution from the French multiple myeloma group, the IFM, and others. So what is, I think, really novel in the Harmony is that there is at least an attempt and the true wish to put together data that comes from real-world experience, and also, most importantly, from the companies. Companies that have in the past registered their drug, they have conducted very large studies, high quality. I think that in terms of knowledge, they can contribute a lot. So if you can pull together all those data sets in a common platform, I think this will provide a big service to patients now and in the future. It's a complex task, as you can imagine. There are different interests. There are legal issues that I was not even aware of. From a company's perspective, obviously you have a patent protection, and you have, in any case, to defend the data. As any collaborative effort, it's required that every stakeholders take some risks in other way, because we think that through the collaboration we can achieve much more. What I think is extremely positive in the Harmony is that we really have input from all the stakeholders. I think that through the Harmony we can also shed some lights on the for instance, also on the regulatory path for development of new drugs and new strategies to fight myeloma, because we have input from really key stakeholders that are participating in the process. It's laborious, but I think we will get there, because I see lots of will to cooperate, and people are really happy to contribute. I mean, everyone has really accepted the challenge and recognized this is the ultimate goal. I think this is really, really important. I mean, it's not just, you know, for appearance. I truly believe people are really engaged. And I've seen this repeatedly in all the meetings I have been. So I think we will achieve something important. I decided to accept a kind of leading role for FR as a FR representative. At the beginning, this comes on top of what you have what you have every day to do. I mean, so you think, oh my God, I also have to do this. Being here, you understand how this can be a priority, and it's fun. It's a really enriching experience to exchange with others. So I think it will be easy to do that. So personally, I think we have. I was impressed, but to see the commitment and enthusiasm of all stakeholders involved, and in a very constructive way. I haven't seen any friction, pushback. Really, the will to cooperate and to achieve this goal. So I think personally, also from a personal perspective, it's really nice.